Hi everyone. Today I have with me Pricilla, who is a very popular name in the testing community. She's a Postman Supernova, AWS community builder, and somebody who I look up to. Also an inspiration in the way she has evolved in public speaking, blogging, talking about testing, being vocal. And today we want to talk to her about her experience with the community and the new engagement that is the Super Voice contest. So, hi Priscilla.
Hi, Rahul. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
How are you
And
doing?
I'm good. How are
Nice.
you?
I'm also doing really good, and it's nice to chat with you. I mean, we have been chatting for a long through, chat messages, but I mean, it's the first time I think then that we are talking on a video call. So we thought to record this up and talk
Mhm.
about some things. We have this
Okay.
Priscilla's testing space opened, by the way, which is an interesting place if you are interested about API testing, automation testing, public speaking, which is I think a fear for a lot of people. And I mean, some years back it was a very big fear for me and other guest blogging links and podcasts. So Priscilla, you have been continuously blogging on.
Not for so long. I started around 3 years back, hardly. So, but I used to blog continuously. Yeah, of course. I'll make sure that I'm writing monthly one blog at least.
Okay. So, I mean, I got to know about your blogs through Synapse's
Mhm.
API learning
Unleashed.
resources that you had put, and that was one area from which I got to know that you have such a deep insights on API testing, and you have been associated with the Synapse QA community. So, can you tell us something about the Synapse QA community?
Sure. A major the vision of Synapse is to have to make testers believe in themselves. Rahul, right? In this testing space, many of our testers are still lacking. I would say not in the technical aspect. Everyone is really smart enough. Only thing they lack is like some kind of self doubtness. Like, where should I start? Will it be okay? So the major our aim is to teach or educate testers to start believing in themselves. Like, they should start believing in themselves, and only then they can really come out of the comfort zone and they can achieve greater heights.
Cool. I mean, that's a really nice mission, and I see Synapse community doing some cool things. And I mean, the thing I like is that they always do it with quality. I think they never compromise on that. The way they bring things, the way they do some workshops or sessions. I mean, it's always amazing. I have been a participant in the Super Reads contest, which
Mhm.
Synapse has organized a couple of times, which was more on the lines of a writing contest. And now we hear that Synapse is planning for a talking based voice or video based format kind of a contest, that's Super Voice. So why this change? I mean, from a writing based mode to more of a video blogging rather than a text based blogging. So
Sure, Rahul. That's a good question. So, first thing, as you are aware, even you mentioned about the APIs Unleashed series, right? So, it's not just with the super voice. Even before this, we were thinking something innovative, try to come up with unusual or something innovative to the community. I believe you were also part of. Not only super reads, you were also part of few other initiatives. When we started, it was purely about writing. Then we thought, like, why not to extend? Because a few people prefer to write and few people prefer to speak, because that's an easy mode for them. If for an example, if you ask me, if I have to convey some things to my neighborhood or my closest person, right, I believe speaking. Like, I'll better call them. I'm not a person who likes to write messages, like lengthy messages. So the person, the mode of communication varies, a preferable mode of communication varies from person to person. So that way we thought few other testers are still aspiring to be speakers, public speakers, and few have already started their public speaking journey, but they are still lacking, like they have a hesitancy, like whether I'm going in a right path or whether I'm doing a right thing. Like people are telling that they like, but am I getting a constructive feedback? So they have a lot of questions inside, right? So that's where we thought, like, maybe we can make it as a contest, okay, so that they'll be getting a live constructive feedback, which is again going to help their, for some of them, maybe to kickstart their speaking career. For some, it might be just to enhance or polish their speaking skills. So it's not just about like from writing to speaking. So it's just one of the innovative branch of Synapse, I would say.
So basically, I mean, it's another medium of portraying your thoughts. I mean, text or blogging is one way. I mean, which stays, and I mean, text has been kind of a forever live kind of a format for sharing thoughts. But I think video format, or I mean, talks, these are getting really popular, where like you can convey thoughts. And probably I also see a value that some things are very easy to convey if done through I mean, through video, through tutorial, through I mean, practical demonstration. So that's really cool. And I mean, this super voice initiative again feels really new. I mean, also it feels new from the point of view that I think it's the first time that such a kind of a scaled contest is happening in the testing space. I mean, I can really feel that it's like some kind of a television contest, where like we have hosts, where we have judges, we have different rounds, and amazing stuff. So I had one question that for a beginner, I mean, or for somebody who has not tried with the speaking format or with public speaking, then how should they start? I mean, what should they think of? Because there is always an anxiety. I mean, when I'll talk about my personal experience, that when I used to, like, some people used to ask me that, can you give us that 2-minute video of some experience in some blog or something? I used to feel that, what if I get stuck, or what if the language that I use is not refined, or maybe I do grammatical mistakes, or maybe I don't look good on camera, or maybe what people judge me. So I mean, there are a lot of clouds that come when you start your camera or when you start speaking. So how to overcome such things? I mean, any tips or something?
Sure, Rahul. So I'll maybe say that what worked out for me. Okay, it was the same with me also. You know, because everyone is a human, and we all have that thoughts of being judged or being getting embarrassed. So we all have that. So what we can do is, like, first place to like start avoiding that is, like, I started taking in an aspect wherein, like, audience are here to listen to me, to learn from me, like, say what Pricilla is going to talk today, like I'm going to learn from her. So in that way, I thought, like, it's going to be a session where audience are going to listen to me, and they're not here to see me as a failure. So it's completely like kind of maybe if the same audience, if it is our friends or the people, the faces which we already knew, we might react in a different way, right? So I always think about the post effect of the talk or the session. And anxietiness, of course, everyone has. So another tip which I felt here is, like, just don't stop with one or two. So make it as a routine, like make sure that you're speaking frequently in your offices, in your team meetings, like you have to speak up for yourself, right? So make it as a habit. When you're starting initially, go for a topic which you're so passionate and confident about. And when you are already being a good public speaker, even you can go ahead and take a unique topic. Say, for example, if you are interested in KIS engineering, and if you really wanted to know what is that, even you can go ahead, do your research, bring your own topic, make your own content, and start presenting. So make that as a routine, I would say, like every quarter or like every month. I should make an event or I should speak in a conference, like make it as a routine. So once you get used to that camera, right, I feel like the fear is obviously getting reduced, Rahul. Initially, when I started, for days before itself, I'll have the fear. Oh my God, next week I'm going to have this talk. Next week I'm going to deliver the speech. So I'll have this fear. So once I started this as a routine, right, maybe just few minutes before the call or few minutes before the conference or the talk, I'll have the anxietiness. Okay, will I be able to do that? Then I'll think I am prepared well. I have the good slides. I have the good content. I'm going to deliver it. That's it. So these two are the major things which worked out for me, Rahul.
So I mean, look for opportunities to speak. Even the small ones count. I mean, even in organizations and all. Know
Exactly.
that people are there to listen to you. They want to listen to you, and I mean, be consistent. I mean, do it again, and I mean, with time it will fade off. Uh, and I recall this specific advice that I think you gave to me on Twitter. I mean, once I was going to give a workshop, I think next day, and it was a
Uh-huh.
very big kind of a workshop, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had done public speaking. I had even done conference talks, but then I was feeling that, man, what if this workshop doesn't work out? And I mean, there is different audience, and that there is a lot of things at stake. But then you said that people are there to listen to you, and that was the advice that I took and went. And I mean, it went really nice. I mean, and people loved it. And then they have asked me, I mean, if we can do something more. So I think, I mean, taking that chance opened some opportunities for me. So that's really awesome. And I've also referred to this blog by you that you have written with Synapse, that how to get started with public speaking. Amazing resource. I'll pin it in the comments or in the description, so everybody can check that out. So
Thank you.
another thing is that, I mean, when you are recording, then there is always a question that how to edit, or how to make that presentation, or I mean, visually something that looks good. Mostly it's through slide material. Sometimes it's editing. Sometimes it's recording software. So what are the tools that you have been using for this public speaking and all?
Oh, sure. So first thing I would like start with my pen and paper, Rahul. That is the first prop which I would need. Like I would need a pen and paper where I'm going to do a lot of scribbling, like whatever comes to my thought, like okay, for this topic, okay, I need to cover this. Okay, maybe I saw this video somewhere back, maybe that video is somehow related to that. So these kind of things I'll first write it to, like whatever coming into my mind, I try to write it down. So that is the first thing I do. And the second thing is, like, I will finalize my slide template. Like, of course, many people prefer being minimalistic, like based upon just blank white screen, and they just have the heading, so they used to go by that way. But when it is I got this advice from Nitin. So when it is in virtual conference, go for dark based themes. There is nothing wrong, because that helps people to stay on track. So when you're trying to go for your in person or the direct, you're going to have the personal meeting with someone, maybe you can try about light based themes over there, like where it can be like light colors, and that is where people, it's easy for their eyes to receive and grasp the things which you're going to say. So for that, I'm using Slides Carnival mostly. So that is where I used to pick my templates from. And so that template also, of course, you can, it's not the rigid one, you have the option to customize also. So that is one tool. Other than that, if you want to make your images colorful, obviously you will get many images from Unsplash, and Canva is also helpful in that way. Say if you are making a unique quote, like if you are writing your own quote or own saying, that you can even beautify using Canva. So these two tools are helpful in that way. So once I'm done, usually if I'm in a rush, I used to do for Microsoft PowerPoint Coach. And if I really have good time, then I'll prefer Udly for all of my talks. So that is where it's really helping me. So once I write it down on the paper, once I confirm or decide on my template or the presentation slides format, right? So after that, I'll start putting everything in there. Then I'll have rounds of review. And in this review, what helped me is, right, Rahul, like one day I might receive in a different way. Okay, so what I always do is like I'll make sure that to revisit the same talk presentation or the content at least 2 to 3 different working days, because that gives me a different perception, you know, like, oh, next day I'll think like, oh my god, maybe we can add something better more here. So that way it was really helpful for me. So it really worked for me, not only for public speaking, even for my blogs also. I used to write it in 1 or 2 days, but I usually have rounds of review, self review, because every time I read it, it gives me a different perception. So I'll do some corrections like additions or deletions, whatever. So this applicable to your content of public speaking as well. So you have to do rounds of review. Please don't be lazy. Because if you're doing the same day, right, you'll be definitely bored. Trust me. But if you're doing in a very good day, like even a Saturday, if you have a very good mood and you really feel fresh, that is the place where you have to start reviewing it. So in that place, of course, some prefer getting the advice of your mentors or friends as well. Of course, if any of your mentors or friends is available, you can reach out to them. And other than that, what other tools? And for recording your videos, I believe Zoom and Loom, right? Loom is another tool, like if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, Loom is another tool. So Loom is also usable. Like I think both is supportable, basic for the free version. And anyways, for the audition only, they would be needing this recording tool. And after that, I think Udly is sufficient for do their rehearsals.
Cool. So, I mean, do you also edit your videos?
Yeah, I do. It's not about editing, Rahul. Sometimes you will not believe. I'll do it from the scratch. I'll erase everything. I'll do it from the scratch.
Okay.
But what I believe is like it's fine. It's fine because every time the content, I'm getting more and more stronger with the content. So there is no harm in doing like it's just 8 or 10 minutes video, right? So it's a suggestion for them. If they feel it is just a minor edit, they can do an edit. If not, they can feel free to do it from the scratch. So that is where we learn. Like every rounds of recording, of course, you will learn. And if it is a minor one, of course, you can go for editing, which I personally haven't done before for the recordings. I make sure that it's like a kind of a movie, like action cut. That's it. So once it is start action, I'll do, and once it is cut, like I'll stop recording and I'll be normal. That's it. So.
Cool. So basically, from ideas to doing your presentation to rehearsing to review, which is another important step. I think a lot of people miss it. And the great part with reviews is that after reviews, what comes out on the screen, I mean, and when we compare it to what we just created, I mean, in the step 2, there is a drastic difference between the two. And I think a lot of people stop at point number 2 only, that okay, I mean, it's not that good, should we go ahead and not. But the cycle is big. I mean, the process is involves further steps and I mean refinement and all. So that's really nice, Pricilla. I mean, that's Priscilla's approach to public speaking or for public speaking. And I have noted that down for me because I always look for such ideas. So thank you for this. Now, one quick question, I mean, that I wanted to ask you is that I hear a lot of times this question that I want to participate, but it's hard to commit time, and I mean, there are things going on, and we don't know our certainty because any contest runs for a long time. So how to find that balance, or I mean, how much time is actually needed for such things? I mean, you have been pretty active in the community, so how do you see such questions?
Okay. First tip here is like, yeah, we can try to start the day early, Rahul, because are we saying that I'm not getting enough time to, because this is how our school teachers will ask us the question, right? If we are forgetting the homework, they will ask like, did you forget to have your breakfast? So the same way, like when people ask me like, how can I make it work and all, right? First thing is like, you should have a real passion towards that. So once you have a real passion and you have to challenge yourself, like I have to do this, that's it, done. Because it has multiple perks, right? It's going to be helpful for your professional career as well, and something out of that, like it builds your self confidence and many other perks of public speaking. So yeah, so coming back to the topic again. So as a tester, especially for testers, what I would advise is like, even for learning, many people ask the same question for learning also. Like, I'm into my project and my project work is taking so long. So where can I find time to learn new tools and new technology? So that is where you have to do your research. Like, what is taking your time so long? Like, how can you plan your day well ahead? Like, and since it is all working from home, basic tips like, you can even set your focus hours or even focus time in your mobile also, so that your mobile is not popping up, because we all have this habit of checking the phones very frequently. So you can do that, I believe, and make sure that you're blocking your lunch hours also, so that you're not having any office calls and all those things. So basic streamlining with your work first. So only when your work is going smooth, you will have an interest or passion to focus on the external things, right? So make sure that your work hours are really streamlined, like prioritize every day and once streamline that. And after that, when it comes to these kind of community activities, weekends, of course, we used to spend for our families, right? So I make sure that monthly, one weekend, like one Saturdays and Sundays, like I'll never do anything, like I'll be totally idle and totally available for my family. But other Saturdays and Sundays, every Saturday and Sunday, I'll make sure that I'm spending few hours, like 1 or 2 hours, that's it, while my kid is taking the afternoon nap, most probably by Saturdays and Sundays. That is the time I used to work so much productively, because the entire house will be very quiet, right? Because this tip is especially for moms. So they really have a very good time. So since it is a nap time, afternoon nap time, I'll have my lunch. Like, my kitchen is very clean right now, like, so I'll really have a good time. So what I'll do is like, I'll but the plan is like Friday evening or even Saturday morning itself, I'll plan like, this is what I'm going to do in the Saturday evening or the Sunday afternoon. So based on that, I'll start working. So 1 or 2 hours, I'll ask my partner. Even if my kid is waking up, he'll take care. So that 1 or 2 hours, I'll definitely plan. Like, whether it is going to be for my upcoming talk or my upcoming conference, whether it is going to be the content research or the blog research, or whether it is the slides preparation. So those 2 hours I usually spend on this, Rahul. So this is my approach, which I was doing for all these months. But when it comes to super voice specifically, if they really wanted to start, right? First thing they should keep in mind is like, for every month, 1.5 hours is required for the taking part, like to to speak, and for the recording also, because we have the recording along with the jury, right? So to present, to get the feedback, and along with the recording, everything. So it's up to them. Like, if they really don't have time, they can like, after their session, they can really drop off, like while others can continue. So for that, monthly 1.5 hours is required for the upcoming months till October. And other than that, if they are totally new, and if they have to do some other research for the content also, I would say like monthly 2 more hours extra, like, or even you can split it, like most probably weekly 1 hour. If it is a new topic, they might need weekly 1 hour. Or if it is like the topic or content which they already have, it's like kind of polishing which they have to do, I believe monthly 2 hours is enough. So if I say hardly, if they are so much enthusiastic to participate and supervise, right, I would say like monthly 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours of dedication is what we want.
Super. I mean, yeah. I think this cleared a lot of air around this contest, because I personally was asked some question that, I mean, how much time I need to put in. I asked some of my colleagues that, are you going to participate, and they had this question that we don't have so much time, and uh, you actually quantified it from the perspective of the different rounds and how much time somebody needs to put. So I think the auditions are on right now. I mean, if anybody wants to be a super voice, go submit an entry in a video format under 8 minutes, and uh, get the feedback, get ahead, get the journey started. So yeah, that's pretty much. Thank you, Pricilla, for joining me and talking about this and helping us understand this better. And yeah, it was fun talking to you. I'll be pinning all these links that we discussed in the description. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me. You're right. So I really wish everyone is like understanding or making sure that they can plan their work and personal life and this community activities accordingly, because I know everyone deserves the best life, right? So this is something which if you are aspiring, if you really wanted to get started with public speaking, and if you're really seeing up your friends like, oh my God, how come he or she is doing this many events? Maybe I should start one day. If you really have that kind of aspiration or thought process, right? I would suggest you please go ahead for the audition. We are not expecting for a picture perfect video, like you don't want, because we're all humans. I still think like when even Udly suggesting me like I'm using a lot of fillers, I always think like it's fine, I'm a human, I can't be speaking like a robot, like so it's fine. That's why I'm telling like you don't need to be perfect. It's your aspiration. Just challenge yourself. Pick a topic which you're really passionate about and which you really wanted to expose or which you want to educate the community, testing community. Please go ahead and record the video. And we are really looking forward, and I'm so excited to hear the recorded videos from the auditions.
Super. So I think now we will be definitely, I think, be getting more participation and queries from people, and this is a good ground that we have set. I mean, by talking about this event. So thank you, Pricilla. Have
Thank you.
a nice day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Yeah, bye bye.